What's up, guys? It's Monday, which means it's time for another What's Sold on eBay and weekly update video. As always, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Matt. Thanks for clicking on the video. I appreciate it. I'm a full-time reseller on eBay, and I've been at this for about 6.5 months now, so still very new to reselling. But every Monday I do one of these videos where I kind of go over how my week went. I may show you some things I pick up sourcing, just kind of go over some weekly news with what's going on with me and my store, and then I show you what I sold on eBay. This week we had our worst week in since probably August, I would say. We had 18 sales this week, but we had one really awesome sale that we're going to save for the end because it's pretty exciting in my opinion for me, and it's definitely much different than what I normally show you guys. So we've also got, I've got kind of a topic to talk to you guys about, and just to get your guys' thoughts on it. That'll be coming up. But first I want to show you a few things that I picked up. I actually picked up a couple of these things I picked up a week or two ago, and I just forgot to tell you guys about them. I guess I didn't think they were that exciting, but then when I actually got around to listing them, I'm like, oh, those are actually pretty good. So we've got a few things to show you here this week, and so let's get started with that. Let's start with the first thing that I picked up. Now, I picked this up, I would say probably maybe even a couple weeks ago. We got a Black & Decker handy mixer. It's the cordless mixer with a split personality, so that's pretty funny. But paid $2 for this. What's so exciting about this is that it's still sealed. It's still new in here. This is from 1992 is what the box says. So a 1992 Black & Decker handy mixer. I think I have this posted for like $93 or something. So hopefully we'll get around there. If not, that's no big deal. Like I said, I paid $2 for this. But it's just pretty cool that it's still sealed for all this, since all this time, since 1992. So pretty cool. Nice little pickup there. Should be a nice sale when it sells. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, and I picked this up this week, and this is a very interesting pickup. So we can get it all in front here. This is the Duck Commander, the Duck Commander hunting video game. This is the Duck Dynasty, like I guess actual hunting game that they produced. What did I pay for this? I want to say I paid $3 for this thing. Was this made by Jack's Pacific? I don't remember, but pretty solid. Yeah, it's made by Jack's Pacific. Pretty solid here. I think I have this listed for, I want to say close to $90, 84. It does have a little box damage. It's still new. I forgot to mention that. It's still brand new in here. It's got a little box damage to it. It's got some damage there. So I think if this box was in really good condition, these things can go upward of $100. So what I wanted to tell you guys about this is you'll often see these guns, and usually they're like buck hunter games and stuff, like the plug-and-play guns. And they do have some value even pre-owned, but what you have to be careful of is most of the time these guns only work if they have a sensor bar. So you may see those guns out at a thrift store, but unless it has the sensor bar, it doesn't really have any value. The nice thing about this, like I said, this is still new and sealed in here. I could actually peek because of this rip. I could peek in there and see that the cords are still factory sealed and the gun's still factory sealed. But this obviously has the sensor bar with it. So if you see like the guns and stuff out at the thrift store, if they have the sensor bar with them, they can bring some pretty decent money pre-owned even, if you can get them for a couple of bucks. But I learned that the hard way because I found a gun that didn't have the sensor bar, and I was like, oh, I looked it up on eBay. I was like, oh, this is like $30, $35. When I got home and like really checked it out, because you can just kind of do a quick glance at the store, I found out that, oh, I need the sensor bar for it to work. So luckily I only paid a couple of bucks for that gun, so it wasn't that big of a loss. But like I said, you got to have the sensor bar for things. But this still new and sealed in here. Paid I think $3, and like I said, I think I have it for like 85 or 90. So pretty interesting find there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, I picked this up a couple of weeks ago as well from Goodwill. Goodwill was having a 50% off day, and this was on the shelf. This is Spirit, the walking, riding free, walking, Spirit, and Lucky. So still, as you can see, still brand new, sealed. I paid $14 for this, so they had it marked at 28, I believe. What did I list this for? Close to 100 is what I think, like $95 or something. So not a bad sale once it sells. Like, it's $14 is quite a bit for me to pay, but I mean, if I can sell it for 95, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So pretty interesting. Those are the three pickups that I wanted to show you guys. For, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. I guess I just didn't think they were that exciting. I guess I finally got around to listing them, and then I was like, oh, these actually sell for really well. Sometimes I'll buy stuff and then put it on my death pile shelf over here and forget all about it. Pretty much what I did with that Black & Decker. And then when I finally listed, I'm like, oh, this is something I want to tell you guys about. So pretty interesting there. Now let's get on to the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys this week about. Very interesting topic. Me and my wife had a nice conversation about this, and let me show you what it is. Okay, so here is, I had a return on this item. This is a Samsung TV stand base, and it's for 46 to 55-inch Samsung TVs. Sold this a couple of videos ago in December sometime, and I got a return. Now this person paid $29.95 for this. I paid $1 for this. My wife actually paid for this on an online auction site. So we're not really out a whole bunch of money at all, really. Like I said, paid $1 for it. So we sold it for $29.95 plus shipping. So I think the person ended up paying $11.97 for shipping. So I get the return, and no big deal. Returns happen in eBay. It's just part of the business. But when I got the invoice for the return, it said I only had to refund them $29.95. And here's the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about. What's your guys' thoughts on, like, so this person made the return request, and they claimed it was their own error. So maybe they had a 56-inch TV and it didn't fit. Maybe they had a 42-inch TV and it didn't fit. I think in the message they said, there was like a slight wiggle when they put the TV up on there on the stand. It had a slight wiggle, so I guess it just didn't fit. So maybe his T didn't read, or he thought he had a 46-inch TV, but he really had a 42. Who knows? But he obviously returned it, basically saying that it was his fault for the return. So I didn't have to pay for the return shipping. So when I got the invoice to make the return, it was only for $29.95, not the full. I think he ended up paying $41.90. So here's my question for you guys, and I'd really like to hear you guys' comments down below and what you think about this. So the thing that kind of irks me with returns is when you get kind of false returns, right? When it's like buyer remorse. Like a while ago, I had someone return a CD player that was brand new. Brand new CD player. It was like a $100 Sony CD player. They returned it after they obviously opened it. I think they probably used it once, claimed that it didn't work, sent it back to me. I obviously tested it. It worked just fine. It was essentially someone having buyer's remorse. Now, they claimed that it didn't work, so I had to pay for the shipping to come back to me, right? Even though there was absolutely nothing wrong with the item whatsoever. And then, of course, when you call eBay and tell them, they're like, they'll usually like try to refund you your shipping. Like, oh, you paid $10 to have it shipped back to you. We'll give you that $10, but you're going to be out whatever money. When you sell a new Sony CD player compared to a used one, now I get it back. It's obviously used now. I'm only going to be able to sell it for 35 or 40 instead of the 100 that I sold it for initially. So anyway, so basically in my mind, eBay, they reward people for being dishonest, right? So a dishonest buyer who says, oh, the item was broken. This guy could have easily said, oh, this item was broken when I got it, or, whatever he wanted to claim, and then he wouldn't have had to pay for the shipping back. So he paid $12 to ship it back to me because he claimed it was his own error. When I refund him, I only had to refund him the $29.95, not the full $41.90. Now, I guess my point is, so what irritates me about returns is when you have like obviously the false returns, but there's nothing you can do about it. But really, eBay, they reward people for being dishonest because you just have to give the full refund, right? If someone says it's broken, no matter what happens, whether it's broken or not, you're giving the full refund plus the shipping, right? But if a person is honest and said it was their mistake, then you only have to refund back what they actually paid, the $29.95. You don't have to refund back the shipping, right? So my question for you guys is, so what I did was I didn't want to penalize this guy for being honest with me, right? He was honest, said it was his mistake. The TV didn't fit his TV because there was something wrong. His TV was too big or too small. So I refunded the guy the full amount, the full $41.90, so the $12 he paid for the shipping initially plus the $29.95. I felt like that was the right thing to do because he was honest. I didn't have to do that. eBay said I only had to refund $29.95. So I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on what you think. What would you have done in that situation? Have you been in that situation before? Do you kind of feel the same? Is eBay kind of set up to where we're rewarding people for being dishonest, but we're penalizing people for being honest? Shouldn't it be the other way around? And as a seller, I can't really get upset with somebody for being dishonest and them getting rewarded when the ball's in my court. I could have just gave him the $29.95 back, but he was honest. So shouldn't I, as somebody who kind of looks at this as the gray area of eBay that really irritates me, shouldn't I refund him the full $41.90 if that's the stand that I take? You know, that because he was honest, I should reward him for being honest. So, like I said, I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that whole I guess situation and what you guys would have done in that situation. I honestly want to hear what you guys have to say about that because me and my wife were kind of going back and forth, and well, eBay says you only have to do this, but it really you should do the full amount because it's the right thing to do, right? So anyway, what's your guys' thought on that? Now that is it that was kind of a long, uh, weekly update portion of this video, but let's get to the part where we talk about what we sold on eBay. So like I said, we had 18 sales on eBay, which was, like I said, I think the worst we've had since I would guess August. So it was a pretty slow week. But, I've only been doing this for 6 months, so maybe it's just kind of a slow time right now. I'm not like, freaking out or anything like that. It's just, I've been able to kind of catch up on my death pile, which is cool. I've added a bunch of listings to my store, so it's kind of been, I guess, a blessing a little bit. Like, I've had a lot more time to kind of get caught up with my death pile stuff. So that's been a positive this week, is I've listed a lot of stuff. But the negative is we didn't really have a whole lot of sales, so I wasn't doing a whole lot of shipping. So anyway, let's get started with this video. This here is a CPAP mask, and I got this actually out of a storage unit I purchased. I guess it's been a couple of weeks now. And I have this video for the storage unit, but I have to get with my editor. I have a guy who does all my editing for me. So I send him over the clips, and then he edits them together and then sends me back the completed video, and then I post it here on YouTube. I just been really lazy with getting him all the clips because it takes some time to like load them all up and stuff. So anyway, at some point you're going to see a video where these masks, I can't remember if these masks are in there or not. They may or may not be. But I found these masks in that unit. I paid $220 for the unit, and we've got several things out of the unit to sell for us. I sold a Polaroid in the last video that I talked about from that storage unit, and this was the second thing that I've sold from that storage unit. And I had two of these, and they both sold to the same person for $29.95 a piece. I think in the total it ended up being like $60 or something with free shipping. So not a bad little sale. Just two CPAP masks. They were brand new and sealed, so not a bad start there to that storage unit. Like I said, I paid $220. I've made about $100 worth of sales so far, and I really haven't posted much from that storage unit yet. So hopefully some more coming up from that in the weeks to come. All right, the next thing I got here is a Sony CD Walkman. I've sold a lot of these. I think I paid $2 for this at St. Vincent de Paul. Had it for maybe a month, and we sold it for $34.95 with free shipping. So not too bad of a sale there for a couple of bucks. $34.95, not bad. I sell a lot of Sony Walkmans. They're good sellers for me. All right, here's a Nintendo Wii controller. This is just the regular. This is not Motion Plus. This does not have the Motion Plus sensor with it or anything. This is just the old school Wii remote with the nunchuck, the black one. So where did I get this from? I really honestly don't remember where I got this from. I think maybe a Wii bundle a while ago. I sold one of these before. I actually had two sets of these. I sold this one for $11.95 plus shipping. So they paid around $20 total. I maybe have a couple of bucks into this after it's all averaged out, but I honestly don't remember. I've had it for a while. All right, here is just a regular old Sony remote. Paid $1 or less for these, and we got $8.95 free shipping. These are things that I used to buy way back in the day. I have a lot of remotes still, and I do buy remotes if they're like closer to $20 or more. But I used to buy like every remote. Like if I saw a remote, it was like $10, I'd usually buy it because they are easy to list, and they are good account builders, I would say. You know, not a whole lot could go wrong with these, but and you're only paying $1. So anyway, some of these like lower end remotes, like cheaper remotes, are starting to sell like one a week. So anyway, paid $1 for this, and we sold it for $8.95 plus free shipping. All right, here's a hat that I got from St. Vincent de Paul. Paid, what did I pay for this? $1 for this hat. So paid $1 for this hat. It was a Kentucky Wildcats hat there from like the 80s or 90s, like an old trucker snapback hat. Pretty cool, the old Kentucky Wildcats logo. Pretty nice. Like I said, I paid $1. We sold it for $17.95 plus free shipping. Light, goes under a pound. I think it was like 6 ounces or something, but not a bad sale. All right, here's another thing I got from St. Vincent de Paul. Paid $1 for this. This is a Targus laptop sleeve. Had this not very long, maybe 2 weeks or something. It was posted, and someone purchased it for $9.95 plus free shipping. So made a few bucks on that. Nothing too special. All right, here's a Pokemon Yellow game that I've had quite a while. I've had this posted. So this Pokemon Yellow, we sold it for $19.95 plus free shipping. I actually got this from a garage sale over the summer. And I remember this because it was a pretty nice pickup, but they had like a Game Boy Pocket, a bunch of Game Boy games, one of which was Pokemon Yellow, a bunch of manuals and stuff. I think they wanted $2 for the whole thing, so it was a really nice find. It was actually something I remember because I looked right past it. My wife, like I was moving on down the line of stuff, she picked it up. It was in a Ziploc bag. She's like, "You don't want this?" And I like walked back over. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I want that for sure." So she's like, "Well, you looked right past it." But good find by the wife. Good catch, because I definitely like scanned right over it. But I guess maybe I have like a quarter into this or something, but $19.95 plus free shipping is what we got for this one. It's not too bad. All right, here's another thing that I got out of a storage unit. A while back, I did a video where I bought a storage unit that had video games in it, like laying on top. So that's what made me pay for the unit. Paid $40 for the unit total. I've sold out of that unit. I sold some NASCAR memorabilia. I sold a Guitar Hero guitar for like $60, and these are the 3 games that I could see on top, which made me buy the unit. It was Mario 1, 2, and 3 for the regular Nintendo, and we sold them for $34.95 plus free shipping. These sold once I finally got around to testing them and listing them. These sold within like, I would say 2 days or something, 3 days, something like that. So yeah, I had all 3 of these. I decided to lot all 3 of them up, Mario 1, 2, and 3. They were in pretty decent condition. Mario 2 kind of had some issues with the label and stuff, and that's the other thing that's very important if you're listing like old video game stuff. Mostly collectors want to see what kind of condition the labels are in. You know, the carts and the labels, front and back. So pretty important to like note if there's like that Mario 2 had some issues on the front of the label. So you want to note that stuff, because some collectors will want to like basically they have these games in their collection, but maybe the labels are all tore up and they want to upgrade the labels, what's called label upgrade for collectors. So they want to see if they're going to pay $35 for all 3 of these, that the labels are in good condition, that they are actual upgrades from the ones that they have. So anyway, long story short, $34.95 plus free shipping for something we got out of a storage unit. All right, here's a Lego Harry Potter figure. As always, got these from that big bin of Legos from many, many months ago. Kind of getting down to the bare bones of minifigure stuff. We still have quite a few like sets of Harry Potter stuff to go through and figure out what we have, but the minifigure stuff is pretty much sold, for the most part, sold out. I think I have maybe 3 or 4 kind of smaller, not very high dollar minifigures left, but made an absolute killing on that Lego stuff. This we got $7.95 plus free shipping for this one. So, and I maybe have, I don't know, a penny into that guy. All right, here's a nice sale that I did this week. Picked this up from Goodwill of all places. This is a TI-84 Plus. Did the normal calculator pictures, showing it graphed, showing the. I like to show this picture too. This is the one where it tests like to see if all the pixels are working, so that someone can see, oh yeah, all the pixels. There's no dead pixels in there. I like to do that one. I include that one now. But paid $6 for this at Goodwill, which was surprising. If you're part of the Facebook group, you might have saw me post this in the group, because I get pretty excited if I go to Goodwill and find something like, you know, especially something like a TI-84 that they should know about, that they obviously know about. I actually went to that Goodwill a couple of days later, and there was a TI-83, not even a plus, TI-83, and it was $25. I paid $6 for this TI-84 Plus, so I was pretty excited to catch them slipping over at Goodwill, because that usually does not happen very often. So when I saw it sitting on the shelf for $6, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe this is here for $6. But we sold it for, I took an offer of $64.29 if I remember correctly. So $64.29, and we paid $6 for it, and it was listed for like 2 days. So not too bad. Now here's a Wii Motion Plus. This actually hooks into the bottom of the old Wii controllers that give them the Motion Plus. The newer Nintendo Wii controllers actually had this built in, so this is kind of an older generation Wii item. But the thing about this was it was still new in there, so the box had been opened, but they had never taken it out. I actually got this from my old boss. He sold me a whole bunch of Nintendo Wii stuff that his son didn't use anymore. Paid $50 for like a system and like 40 games and just a bunch of extras and stuff. So got a pretty nice deal from the old boss. But sold this for $14.95 plus free shipping. I had this maybe 2 months or something, so not too bad. All right, here's another one of those makeups. I've sold several of these through all the videos throughout. I only have 2 left. I got these from Elder Beerman closing sales. We paid $6 for these. I had a bunch of different, I don't know, shades or something. I'm not really sure, but had a bunch of different types of these Estee Lauder makeups, and we're down to 2, so that's pretty cool. But we paid $6 and we sold it for $19.95 plus free shipping. So once it's all said and done after shipping, we'll make like $8 or $9. So not too bad, I guess, for retail arbitrage stuff. All right, here's a very interesting sale. Oh, I wanted to move the other one closer to this one, but so I'll tell you a story about this one too once we get to the other one. So I sold 2 copies of this week. Picked this up from St. Vincent de Paul. Paid 50 cents for this. So went to St. Vincent de Paul in the morning. This is kind of a good lesson too. I often hit the same thrift store, the one St. Vincent de Paul that I do really well at. I'll usually go there, not every day, but some days like twice in a day. So I'll go there in the morning. Basically my day consists of getting all my shipping ready the night before, taking my shipping to the post office at like 8:30, getting to the St. Vincent de Paul at 9 a.m. when they open, hitting like 5, 6, 7 thrift stores, coming back home. If anything's sold within the time I left my house to the time I get home, or before the post office closes at 5, I'll pack that stuff up and I'll take it to the post office, because the St. Vincent de Paul I like to go to is like literally right down the street from that post office. So I'll hit that St. Vincent de Paul again for a second time. I usually do this, I don't know, 2, 3 days a week. I'll go to the same one twice in a day. But this is a good example. Is when I went there in the morning, these N64 games, I got a whole stack of N64 games. And there was 3 really good ones, well, pretty decent ones, this being one of them. But they were not there in the morning, and when I went there in the afternoon, the whole stack was sitting there. So just, I mean, I guess, if you're trying to get stuff, especially in these winter months when there's not like yard sales or any other real, sourcing avenues going on, I'll usually hit the same thrift store a couple of times in a day. So anyway, picked this up for 50 cents. This GoldenEye for N64. Sold it for $22.95. Now this one was in decent condition. Again, like I said, you want to show like what the labels look like and stuff. It had writing on the back label. The front label was really good, but as you can see there, the top is starting to yellow. So that's pretty common with these old plastic Nintendo items like Super Nintendos and regular Nintendo cartridges. Sometimes they'll yellow. Even PlayStation 1's yellow. So wanted to show that so that if a collector gets this, they know exactly what they're getting. The reason I tell you that is because the price I charged for this one is different than the price I'm going to show you on the second one I sold. But sold this to someone for $22.95 with free shipping, and like I said, paid 50 cents. So, all right, here's an isogenic. This is Isoline chocolate mint shake. My wife actually was on isogenics for, it's like a diet plan or whatever, for a while. She stopped doing it, and then she had just had a bunch of these canisters still sealed in our pantry. I said, "What are you doing with these things? They're gonna expire like in a month." And she's like, "Oh, maybe you can sell them on eBay." So sure enough, I have 4 of these canisters of this chocolate mint, still sealed, like I said. So I threw them up on eBay, just to see what would happen, and a lot of this stuff sells. So This expires in a month, so I charge a little less than what everyone else is charging for theirs. But I had two of them sold almost immediately from posting, like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour after posting it. And two went to the same person. They paid $50 for the two, plus free, plus shipping, so not too bad. But this is the stuff that I paid quite a bit more for, I'm sure, already from my wife ordering it off of Isogenics. So, uh, you know, I guess the classic case of just trying to get some of your money back on something that's going to expire and that she's not going to use anyway. So you might as well sell it. Stuff sitting around the house. All right, here is a Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe. This is a jigsaw puzzle. This is actually still sealed, new in there from 1998. I paid $2 for this quite a while, I would say 4 or 5 months ago from St. Vincent de Paul, and it finally sold for $16.95 plus shipping. So just an Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe puzzle, still new and sealed. So pretty cool. All right, here's a Nintendo GameCube Platinum Edition. Where did I get this from? Is this the one I got from? This is the one I got from St. Vincent de Paul with all the other video game stuff that I got. I got a video from a month ago or so of a huge video game haul. I got a bunch of awesome Nintendo GameCube games, and I got a Nintendo GameCube. This is that GameCube. Paid $50 for the GameCube, 2 controllers, the cords, and a what's called a Wavebird, a Nintendo GameCube Wavebird. The Wavebird already sold. I paid $50 for all that. The Wavebird sold for $45, and then we sold the system for $35 plus free shipping. And then I'm also selling the cords and stuff too. So not too bad. We're going to make a little profit on that bundle of Nintendo GameCube stuff. So pretty interesting. Just a platinum Nintendo GameCube that I got. I would say I had this for, I don't know, whenever that video came out, 6 weeks ago or something. So, all right, now here's that second GoldenEye that I sold. Now I want to tell you guys a funny story about this GoldenEye. So this one sold for $27.95 plus free shipping. This one was in much better condition than the other one. That's why I charged more. Paid 50 cents for this as well. The cartridges was very clean. The labels were very clean. There was no yellowing or anything as well. So actually a pretty nice copy of GoldenEye. So here's the funny story. So the person who bought the other one actually bought this one. So the person who bought the other one was a drop shipper. They paid $22.95 for that one. They sent me the classic message, don't put in an invoice, this is a gift, no packing slip, no nothing, which is fine. I don't have any problem with drop shippers. So I paid for the item. I printed the packing slip, packaged this thing up, put the label on it. Well, then I get a message from this person, and they say, hey, that's the wrong address. Can you change it? And this person had 3 feedbacks. So obviously they're new to eBay, and drop shipping is what I was thinking. So sent him a message, and I said, well, not really. I've already paid for the shipping. Like, I guess I could have canceled the sale, but it would have cost me a lot for his mistake. So what happened was, so I sent him a message, said, well, not really, because I've already paid for the shipping. Unfortunately, I said, you're obviously this is exactly what my message was. You're obviously drop shipping this, which is fine. Let me guess, did you put your own address on there? And he sent back a message, said, yeah, sure enough, I did. I put my own address. He said, do you have another copy of this for sale so that I can send it to my buyer? And I said, yep, I sure do. And I sent him the link to this one. I said, yes, this is the last copy of this I have for sale. Make sure if you're going to purchase this, make sure you put the right address on there. And I said, when you get the copy, because I'm sending one copy to him and one copy to whoever he sold it to on whatever site. I said, when you get the copy that I'm sending you, you can resell it here on eBay. Maybe you can get more. You can resell it on whatever site that you're selling these things on. So, basically to encourage him not to try to return it to me. But I just thought it was pretty funny that, and I'm usually pretty honest with drop shippers. If like there's some issues, or, I'm actually kind of friendly with some drop shippers that buy from me pretty often. So we just kind of work things out. But like I was just straight up with this guy, like, hey, I understand you're drop shipping that. I'm cool with this. I have another copy. If you want to purchase it, here it is. So sure enough, he purchased it and put the right address in this time. So sold the same same game to the guy twice. So that was, again, 50 cents for this, $27.95. This is a funny story. All right, here is another deal I made. These are the Kohl's Cares Lion King Simbas. I've sold a couple of these just as singles in the past. Paid $1 for each one of these, so I have $3 into this lot. And Someone messaged me and said, hey, if I bought all three, that I only had three left. So if I buy all three, can you give me some kind of deal? And I said, well, you know, I can give you like 12. Best I can do is give you $12 a piece for each one. And they said that's fine. So got $12 for each one of these, so $36 total plus free shipping. So paid $1 for that. So I have $3 into this. We sold for $36 plus shipping. So like I said, the sales haven't been great. So I'm kind of open to, you know, whatever. You know, I could have held out and maybe gotten $15 each for one of these. But like I said, sales haven't been great. So I've just been kind of, you know, wheeling and dealing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But still, we still made plenty of profit. Paid $3 for all three of them. $36 plus free shipping, and it went for, I think it was like $8 shipping, so not too bad. All right, now we are up to the best sale of the week, which was actually, surprisingly, a local sale that I had last week, and I totally forgot to put it in last week's video. I was really excited about it. If you are part of the This Week in Reselling Facebook group, you might have already seen this that I posted in there, but I wanted to show you guys here on YouTube. So here it goes. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. Boom. Sold these. These are two rotating Camaro end table lamps. Purchased these a while ago, 4 or 5 months ago, from St. Vincent de Paul. I paid $20 a piece, so I paid $40 total for these lamps. These lamps were absolutely awesome. I'm not really into cars or Camaros even, but they were just really, really nice lamps. And I'm going to show you the video that I accompanied with the listing. So I sold this on Facebook Marketplace. I had them up there for months, 4 months now, I would say. Finally, someone messaged me and they were like, hey man, I love these lamps. I want to come and get them from you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's like, but I live 3 hours away, so unfortunately I live really far away. And I said, well, that's unfortunate too. These are some really cool lamps. I said, did you get a chance to check out the video? Because like I said, I made a video that I put on YouTube, on my other YouTube account, onto the sale. And I learned that from Garage Flips Lonnie. Like, if you have a big ticket item that's kind of cool, put a video with it, and that'll help sell the item. So that's exactly what happened with this. So the guy said, no, I didn't get to check out the video. So he messaged me back. He goes, dude, I checked out the video. Those are awesome. I'm going to drive to you and pick these things up. The guy lived 3 hours away. So the guy drove 3 hours here and 3 hours back to pick these lamps up. And I will show you guys the video that I put on there because these lamps really are awesome. So here's the video. So just awesome lamps. They like plug them in, they rotate, they have little lights that shine on the cars. They have a little mirror, and you could hear they have like the engine revving of a Camaro, and the shades were in really nice condition. So these are pretty like rare lamps, I guess. When I met the guy, was like the guy and his son and his wife. They drove all the way, like I said, 3 hours here to meet me. He was telling me all about how rare I've been looking for these lamps. I can only find the Corvette ones. I'm a huge Camaro guy. He's like pointing to the cars on the shade. He's like, oh, I have this one. My son's got this one. So the actual cars that he had in real life were on these shades, so it made it that much cooler. But guy was super nice. He was super thankful. I mean, he just went to the absolute perfect person. Like I said, it took 4 months to sell them, but we got $200 for these lamps. So I paid $40. We sold them for $200. The guy didn't try to haggle or negotiate a price. He just was ready to pay the $200 straight up. No questions asked. And then later when he got home, after driving 6 hours, he's like, it's been a long day, but I finally got the lamps where they need to go. And he took a picture of the lamps in he had a Camaro room. So in his Camaro room, he had a picture, and I posted that on Facebook too. But he had a picture of the lamps in his Camaro room, so it was absolutely fantastic. It was literally the perfect person to get these lamps, so I'm really happy. I actually felt, I don't know, there's something about selling on like local, when you like unite somebody like with things like this that really you could tell. Like when he saw them, he was like, oh, these are awesome. They're just as cool as I thought they were going to be. And his face lit up. I don't know, there's something kind of rewarding about that. But anyway, for me, it was an awesome sale. And like I said, I sold these last week. Totally forgot to put them in the video. But the best sale, I guess, from last week. Like I said, $200 for these lamps is what I sold them for. I paid $40. So anyway, guys, that's it for this week. again, going back to the topic before, what's your guys' thoughts on the return and how I handled it? I'd really like to hear your comments on that. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for all the comments, the likes. We've been getting a ton of subscribers, well over 300 now, which is very cool. We're getting a lot of love from the YouTube community of resellers, so I appreciate all the shout outs and love from those guys. But anyway, guys, that's it for this week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.